Haaland could be injured. And Foden isn't ready. I've made more transfers than Chelsea in the last few years to this FPL team, so I'm not sure I'm ready either.
I like it.
But this is my latest FPL draft. In goals, David Raya Martin is in. With Arsenal signing Hotel California and Timber coming back, I'm going to say every Arsenal defender could be at risk of rotation. Now, it's unlikely the likes of Saliba will get rotated, but now it's definitely a possibility. But Raya is not only absolutely nailed, he will play every game, but he's also cheaper than all of their other defenders, and he also fills a keeper spot where no one else really stands out. So I'm kind of thinking Arsenal keep the most clean sheets. It's not a spot we really care about. He's cheaper than their defenders. Sounds like a pretty good bargain deal to me. He's in. Gvardiol is my first and most expensive defender, with him also being in every single one of my drafts so far. He's not left. If he's anywhere as sharp as his own beard, then we're in for a pretty good ride, as not only does he keep those Man City clean sheets, but he also has more attacking threat than some of their actual attackers. So at 6 mil, I think that is a great price. Next up, we have the cheap defender Boise's with Crystal Palace's Anderson, Villa's Ezri Konsa, and Fulham's Anthony Robinson. I'm planning on playing 2 of those every week, which will give me a combination of fixtures, including Brentford and West Ham in Game Week 1, West Ham and Leicester in Game Week 2, Leicester and Ipswich in Game Week 3. Now that is pretty damn naughty. Anderson is part of the Palace defence that was much better under Glasner, making him an absolute bargain at 4.5 million. Konsa was part of the Villa defence that wasn't great last year, but they definitely have the quality to improve, and with that run of fixtures, it could definitely improve immediately. Robinson has all of that and the addition of attacking threat, with fixtures juicier than a fresh Big Mac. I want to munch on that right now. Mo Salah, you little dancer. I've still got the Egyptian king, the FPL king, as even though 12.5 million is a lot for just one player, right, who will also be playing under a brand new manager in a completely different system. Like, what could possibly go wrong, right? But with those fixtures, including playing Ipswich in Game Week 1, I really like him from the start, but he could also be used to go down to literally any other player, as he is the most expensive midfielder. If I want the likes of Palmer, Foden or Bruno, I can get to them or anyone else with just one transfer. That is exactly what we want. Go on, my son. Heung-min Son has in fact joined my team for the very first time. I've not considered him yet for his price, but the more I look at him, the more I compare him to other midfielders, the more I really like him. As not only is he the main attacker for actually the most attacking team, he is also on penalties and plays Leicester and Everton in the first 2. He could also be used to go down to the likes of Foden and co, making him a very sexy option for Game Week 1, but also gives me flexibility to jump onto another player after, but not have to jump too far that I'm pulling a hamstring. I haven't got most of my budget in one player like Haaland, no. I've spread that cash all around, but I've also not spread it too much that I can't jump to other players. My initial plan is to have Son for Game Week 1, bank those Game Week 1 points, and then potentially swap to Foden, who plays Ipswich in Game Week 2, and that could be absolutely wonderful. Now, planning transfers always works, right? So we're definitely going to do that, and it's definitely going to work. But even if we don't do that, then having Son is no problem at all. Boom, Saka. That's absolutely right. Not only have we got Salah and Son, but we also have Saka too. Damn son. I've been preferring Havertz over Saka literally all preseason, but even though Havertz just scored, it's made me change my mind. I mean, how dare an FPL content creator ever change their mind? No, not allowed. But with Saka, you just know what you're going to get. You're going to get a 90-minute, very direct winger. He's going to be very attacking every game, and he's literally guaranteed to play every game and possibly every single second of the game, even if it means he's limping for about 7 hours after, because that's just what Arteta does to him. But with Havertz, you just don't know. He could be playing in midfield, he could start up front, but then get subbed off early for Jesus. There's just a lot of unknowns, which I kind of want to avoid for Game Week 1. This guy right here blows. Thankfully, though, he just blows balloons when he scores all the goals, because that's just his celebration, isn't it? Now, I'm starting to think that an Nkunku at 6.5 million is so underpriced that not only do I need him, I need to keep him all season. If he gets injured, doesn't matter, he's staying. If he gets transferred back to Leipzig, doesn't matter, he's staying in my team. Okay, it's maybe not that extreme, but at that price, I think we're kind of disrespecting Nkunku here. He is literally, like, he came in at 1 million more expensive last year than we were considering him. The fact that he's 6.5 million he is in here. Ollie Watkins is becoming one of the most controversial FPL picks ever, with some claiming that you're an absolute cheeky scrub if you don't have him. Some are claiming that he's never going to score good FPL points again because his expected assists are so bad. Wow. Well, let me tell you, my friend, you best expect to regret it if you don't pick him, because he gets all of the points. He also has some of the tastiest fixtures for the start of the season, and the fact that he's a talisman for a Villa team who obviously did very well last year, but could even do better with all of their summer signings, he's just got to be in my squad from the very beginning. Alexander Isak. Isak the Great. I don't really need to say much about this geese, to be fair, do I? Like, he's the most selected player in the game for a reason. And he could even be my Game Week 1 captain. So, yeah, I think he's good enough to be in my Game Week 1 squad. And finishing up the forward line, it's Rodrigo Munez Carvalho. That's Munez for short, and the GOAT for long. He's that good. 9 goals in just 18 starts last year, and he's now been given the number 9 shirt at Fulham. So that just means he's guaranteed to play every single game for them for the rest of his life, potentially. He also has the best fixtures out of any other team, playing a Man United away, okay, then 2 promoted teams straight after. He's a bargain for his price, so with those fixtures, wow, very sexy for Game Week 1. And this right here is my latest FPL draft info for Game Week 1. Wow. I have a premium keeper in Raya to give me that Arsenal cover, usually advised against. But like I said, no other keeper stand out. He gives me that Arsenal cover for cheaper. Lovely. I have a Gavadio for the Man City clean sheet as my only premium defender. And then all my other defenders are cheap boysies, but come from the likes of Palace, Villa, Fulham, and maybe even Brighton, with Abaco on the bench, who all provide amazing cover, rotation, and just bargains all over the shop that are just amazing. And also fund the rest of my squad, which, you know, is also pretty damn good. I then have 3 premium mids. 3, not 1, not 2, 3, with Salah and Son and Saka, who I would also say are the best 3 premium mids for the very start of the season under current circumstances and what we know so far. As not only do they have the best fixture right at the start, all of them are gonna start, but they also could all be used later on to transfer down to the likes of Palmer, Foden, or whoever else we fancy as soon as those are ready, or as soon as somebody else looks better. That's basically that. Then the forward line is more explosive than Bonfire Night. All of the goals incoming with all of their sexy fixtures. And that is really what this team is really focusing on. They're not all just really good players with great FPL potential everywhere, but they are all fit and ready to go with absolutely no doubts about starts or minutes or any risks at all. Unlike the likes of Haaland, Foden, or even Palmer right now, you just don't really want to be going into Game Week 1 where half your squad might not even start, they might get subbed off early, and then you're unsure about half your squad. All of these are pretty damn certain we know what we're going to get. They also all have a very good fixture in Game Week 1, so could get off to a very good start, but they also all have a very good few amount of Game Week fixtures straight after too, where I also wouldn't be against an early Game Week 4 or Game Week 7 wildcard, so all of these have very good 3 or 6 set of Game Week fixtures, but with us not knowing about the likes of Liverpool, Chelsea, new managers, or new systems and all of that, maybe an early wildcard when we learn about more about these teams or anyone else could be the way to go, but this team helps me take advantage of the early fixtures and then decide later on when I want a wildcard. And even if I don't want to straight away, it has the flexibility to keep on going forward, which is amazing. Well, yeah, if I decide not to wildcard anytime soon, I sit on my hands and forget about FPL. Almost every single player right here is arguably good enough that I could keep them for the entire season. Almost every player in this draft, you could argue, is underpriced, even a Salah. I'm just saying that to fit my narrative. I don't really think him. But the rest of them, yes. And more importantly, they are all at a price point that allows me to get in any other player in the game that I want. Apart from a Haaland, but who needs him, yeah? As apart from Haaland, I have the most expensive forward. In midfield, I have the most expensive midfielder. And I feel like the premium midfielders is what we're probably going to be focusing on our transfers a lot this season and flip-flopping them because they have the highest upside and potential. And these 3 right here are the safest for straight away, but they could all be used to go down to the likes of a Foden, a Bruno, or even a Palmer. Even Game Week 2, never mind whenever we fancy. So this team allows me to have a great start overall, maybe even get to 3rd in the world in Game Week 1 again. Imagine that. But it can also do great moving forward and also gives me the flexibility moving forward to get in anyone we want or whoever is doing well. So I am ready to get all of the points. Let me know what you think of this draft. Who would you change? And what does your current FPL draft look like right now? As we're just a couple of weeks away from the deadline, so it's not too long before we have to lock in those teams. That's going to be all. Thanks for watching, and also, remember...
Don't be a cheeky scrub. Subscribe to Nathan Bacon right now. Don't let your memes be dreams.